Often I've had people get upset with me when I state something and say in the public interest, or I would say in the public interest, of course. Now, if you look up legal obligations to act in the public interest, this is what you will find. Legal obligations to act in the public interest primarily fall on public officials and fiduciaries, requiring them to serve the common good over private gain, maintain impartiality, ensure accountability, and protect public resources enforced through ethics laws. Remember, violating the oath, any laws, ethics violations, conflicts of interest rules, or professional codes like the Code of Judicial Conduct, the rules of professional conduct, with violations leading to serious consequences. Lawyers, prosecutors, and government employees all have special duties rooted in concepts like fiduciary duty to uphold this public trust. Look up the public trust doctrine to get a better definition of what they mean by the public trust. Key obligations of officials and fiduciaries: fiduciary duty, public servants as act fiduciaries, owing duties of care, loyalty, and impartiality to the public. No private gain. Use office for public good, not personal benefit or to favor anyone. And that's in all the laws I talk about. Impartiality. Avoid conflicts of interest and preferential treatment. That's in all the laws I talk about in all my videos. Not all of them, but it's quite a few. Accountability and stewardship. Be accountable and act as good stewards of public funds and property. I've talked about that. That's in the public trust doctrine. That's the law. Okay, transparency. Ensure government operations are open and subject to public scrutiny. That isn't happening. Examples in specific roles. Prosecutors must seek justice, have probable cause, and not pursue charges the defendant is innocent regardless of evidence strength. And that's in Rule 3.8, Special Responsibilities of the Prosecutor and the Rules of Professional Conduct. That's how it starts. They cannot proceed if the case has no probable cause. They are legally obligated to dismiss it and charge the arresting officer for legal harassment. In most cases, sometimes a cop gets mad at you and, okay, well, I'm going to arrest you. You're going to have to spend a night in jail and get a lawyer. And so if you go in there and ask for a probable cause hearing, they'll find that there's no probable cause. The case will get thrown out. And if they don't want to, if it goes past the probable cause hearing, they send it to trial, ask for a quick and speedy trial. There's limitations on that in Illinois. It's 120 days if you're out on bond, 90 days if you're incarcerated, and if those standards aren't met, the case gets tossed out immediately with prejudice because that's violating your right to a quick and speedy trial, as are these other laws I talk about. But look it up, legal obligations to act in the public interest. So if you hear me say in any video in the public interest, if you hear me speaking to someone and I say in the public interest, of course, I'm referring to the legal obligations to act in the public interest, okay? So when I talk about politicians, lawyers, judges, anybody in the military, anybody behind the badge, anybody in public service, legal obligations to act in the public interest. Those are the legal obligations of everybody in public service. These aren't the only obligations. I went through many others. Okay, I just wanted to make this one short so that way you'll know every time I mention the public interest, in the public interest, it's always about you. What's best for you. And that's living up to the oath. Stop violating all these laws. Stop violating the oath. Stop violating the rule of the law, the letter of the law. So many laws I talk about that are being broken on a daily basis. You just don't know because you don't know these laws exist and you don't know that they can't do what they're doing, but they're doing it anyways, and you think it's real, but it's not because they violated the law to make you look like you broke the law, which is called operating under the color of law. Look that up. Operating under the color of law. There are penalties for operating under the color of law. So, and basically that's what you're living with. You're living under the color of law. There's a lot of things happening that shouldn't be happening, but you think it's legal because judges, lawyers, and politicians, your government did this to you, and they're all working for Wall Street's elites. So we're operating under corporate rule, which is called corporacy or corporacy. We are not a corporacy, we are a democracy. That's why I keep bringing up the term under the color of law. Look up under the color of law. It's illegal to operate under the color of law. I hope you enjoy my videos. You know, I can't be there with you personally, so I'm doing my best, to get you what you need to get through. And this, you got to go through everything, y'all. All right. What I'm doing is making it super easy for you compared to what I had to go through to find this information. This was back in the 70s and the 80s. It wasn't easy. I didn't have a computer. I don't think there was internet at the time. I didn't get a computer until not too long ago. I had to learn how to use it and put it together and program it. And well, you people that know computers know what I'm talking about. I don't know any terms. I just did it myself. But either way, what I do for you. I made a promise to the Almighty, I wouldn't let any of you suffer like I did. I'm doing my best. Keep saying, open your eyes to open your mind. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to believe you. Once you read what you read and see what I see, you'll know what I know. So if you think I'm smart, that'll make you just as smart. It's not what you know, it's what you don't know. And that's what I'm trying to give you, what you don't know. But I can't give it to you. You have to take it. You have to open it. And you don't have to go through the books like I did. Everything I ever read's on the internet, and I'm doing my best to find it and share it with you. You have a good day, all right? May your Creator always be with you and rain many blessings. I wish you nothing but a long life and good health, peace and happiness, folks. Nothing but love for you.